Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. So today in our lecture we'll be dealing with information sharing and transparency in government. So it forms a part of the unit property in governance. So let's get into the lecture. So information sharing and transparency in government are crucial elements of democratic governance and public accountability. They involve the proactive disclosure of information by government institutions to the public, ensuring that citizens have access to relevant and timely information about government activities, decisions, and policies. Here, we should all know that information sharing and transparency in government is nothing but government sharing the crucial elements of democratic government, their policies, decisions, and disclose the information to the people, to the public, so that they have relevant and timely, so that the public does have relevant and timely information. So moving on to the significance. So it helps in fighting corruption. Like by when you increase the information sharing, it reduces the secrecy in which decisions are taken and disclosure of the information, like favoritism in government contracts, illegal section of selection of jobs, getting the land meant for public park. So these are all fighting corruptions. Empowerment of citizens helps persons exercise their human rights and fight in cases which is impinged. Active citizenry, like RTI, has helped in transforming people from passive subjects to active subjects, like um, questioning about the aims process, funding of policies and programs, and actively involving in the decision making process. Assertion of demands. Many of the demands from the social and economically underprivileged sections are coming after they have received data and information through the RTI. Like it gives voice to the voiceless through assertion of demands. And finally, is formation of strong civil society. Better informed society leads to civil society, which helps checks on arbitrary power of government. See, we cannot give government unlimited power. There must be some sort of check which civil society can provide. Coming on to the importance of information sharing and transparency in government, promotes accountability. It ensures that government officials are answerable for their actions and decisions and helps in scrutinizing public spending, policy decisions, code of conduct, etc. Code of elected officials and public servants, which eventually helps in reducing the corruption and misuse of power, enhances public trust. By openly sharing information, government can build and maintain public trust. Transparency demonstrates to citizens that their government is working on their best interest, which is essential for the legitimacy of public authorities. Improves decision making. Public access to the government information allows for a more informed decision, more informed citizens, wherein they can more effectively participate in the public discourse and decision making process, which might lead to the policies which reflect the public's needs and preferences. Strengthens democracy. At its core, democracy is about the participation of the people. As you all know, it's by the people, for the people, and to the people. So, transparency empowers the citizens by providing them with the information they need and exercise the human rights. Finally, it facilitates public participation. Transparency is a prerequisite for meaningful public participation in the governance, wherein the citizens get to engage in different policy formulation, provide feedback on the government services, and hold authorities accountable for their performance. Notice the issues with the increased transparency. Public officials' privacy. See, transparency might sometimes even encroach the public official privacy, which might lead to mental hurdle in performing jobs, affect organizational credibility. See, transparency can sometimes magnify to the collective level of the organization. Actually, it might not um, generate it might generate a negative public opinion, not only of the officer or politician if they have done some corruption or done something wrong, but this negative perception might be given for the entire organization as well. Even though one has done that, it might affect the entire organization. Next one is affect trust in the government. So even when information is suppressed in the interest of public, it is termed as hypocrisy of the government affecting the citizens' trust in government. Yes, when some important information is suppressed, eventually the trust in the government reduces, may attract unnecessary legal cases. Small matters can blow out proportion and attract court cases, which may lead to costly legal delays. Yes, our people are famous for putting some court cases, even for some silly things. This transparency can very well bring in more like that. Next one is challenges in transparency and information. Privacy and secrecy. Constitution provides the right to privacy, and also official secret acts blocks sharing of information. Such roadblocks creating obstacles which are very much needed for information sharing and transparency. Yes, official secrets act is very old, but still it blocks the sharing of information and transparency. Delays. See, there are always delays in disposing of information on sharing applications due to various factors such as lack of staff, due to secrecy, etc. etc. Digital outreach. Though usage of e-governance tools is increasing, but urban-rural digital divide is still wider. So, because of which the rural public offices are unable to utilize the growing e-governance model due to the internet connectivity, less usage of internet connectivity, and no awareness on computer usage, etc. Top-down approach in governance. Centralized and one-size-fits-all approach to governance hinders the openness, consistency, and continuity with the dynamics of ever-changing needs of the citizens. Here, actually, a top-down approach was followed by Planning Commission, which was changed to Niti Aayog in the later parts, where it brings in bottom-up approach. So you cannot have centralized plan for everything and work on that. No, that will not work properly. But a bottom-up approach will really help that in achieving whatever it's needed. Structural constraint, the lack of staff, no online records, lack of digitization of files, huge files to compile to check for required information. These are all various challenges in transparency and informations. Now, what are the mechanisms for improving the information sharing and transparency in public offices? RTI Act. RTI Act was enacted by the government to ensure information exchange and transparency. As a result, it will be carried out in letter and spirit. Like we will be looking into RTI Act in detail in the next lecture. But as of now, RTI Act, as we all know, was enacted by the government to increase the transparency among the citizens. Next one is social auditing. Should be used in the rural employment programs so that the people know what's happening, what the programs, what are the policies, everything, and work accordingly. Media. The use of media to raise public awareness and public trust on the government officials and the government, everything. Citizen charter. A list of available services should be published in all the government offices so that people can know what all is available and what all is given. Finally, so before we conclude this video, actually transparency and information access are critical cornerstones of good governance. They encourage accountability, trust, citizen participation, informed decision making, resource allocation. All these can happen with transparency and information sharing. So, with this, our lecture comes to the end on transparency and information sharing. Hope you guys understood the topic. Do like, watch, share, and subscribe the channel. We will continue with next lecture soon. Thank you.